Oh, yeah. It's almost time. We got the GOAT back. We got the GOAT back. We got Caitlin Clark back in the gym, going viral. This is crazy. We got to get into this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's go. It's happening. It's happening already. Caitlin Clark, the GOAT, is back in the gym with the Indiana Fever. You see who that is right there. You see who that is right there. Here, this picture was taken with Nancy.
The footage exploded. The gym lights flashed across glimpses of Caitlin Clark's ruthless on-court intensity, instantly igniting the internet and leaving zero doubt. The GOAT has returned, and she is ready. This wasn't just practice. It was a visceral warning shot, a message aimed straight at every rival and every lingering skeptic in the league. The determination carved into her expression during each drill became an immediate sensation, representing far more than an ordinary workout. Her viral comeback signals a storm gathering on the horizon, displaying a focus that has fans starving for the next season to begin, proving every ounce of hype is justified. Eyes rise with the tide that lifts all boats.
Rising tide that lifts all boats. She's not a needle mover. She's the needle. Y'all need to get behind this girl and ride this gravy train. And she stood front line. She was ready to go at Jeff Teague. She was ready to go at everybody. Caitlin Clark is back in the gym, training hard with the Indiana Fever in preparation for the 2026 season, man. You can see this here. This picture, it says, life is about showing up for your friends, people you admire, and building greatness for the future. At Caitlin Clark, at Indiana Fever, at WNBA. And you got Nancy Lieberman with Caitlin Clark. That is fire.
That only fueled the fire surrounding her long-awaited return. Legendary coach Nancy Lieberman stood right beside Clark, a living symbol of unwavering support. This isn't a sudden partnership. Lieberman has been frontline, one of her loudest advocates from day one, a rarity during the early waves of pushback against the rising phenom. Her presence alongside Clark in these crucial workouts sends a powerful signal, reinforcing the idea that Clark's influence reaches far beyond awards or stats. This collaboration highlights a strategic meeting of elite basketball minds, preparing Clark not just for games, but for a lasting legacy.
And we have a lot of jealousy. And, I'm going to answer this question by stating a fact. When Michael Jordan came into the NBA in 1984, it was Magic and Larry Bird who kind of started to resurrect the interest in the NBA. When Michael came in, TV ratings soared, salaries soared, media was so attached to him, and he backed it up with his play. Now there were, with the bad boys, there were the Jordan rules, and they roughed him up, and all Michael did was get in the weight room, start changing his body composition so he could handle the people that were coming at him.
Lieberman has never minced words, asserting that Clark isn't just a needle mover, she is the needle, the driving force that elevates the entire WNBA. She publicly urged others to support this girl and ride the gravy train, emphasizing the undeniable economic and viewership power Clark carries. This bold stance, particularly during the early stages, distinguished Lieberman as a fierce defender against those who tried to diminish Clark's historic impact. Her clear foresight predicted the monumental shifts Clark would ignite, proving her original assessment remarkably accurate.
What all of it was, to be honest. That's why she was so targeted.
Caitlin Clark, she'll get tougher, right? She went in the weight room. She got bigger. She got stronger. Of course, she's been injured. And it's okay. We want everybody to raise their level of play for the next generation who's coming after you. I know this. I was the Caitlin Clark in the 80s and 90s, where I had 99.9% of all the attention for women's basketball in the world.
Right.
And you know what? When you get to this stage, you're like, okay, what can I do? Arike is a baller. Paige Beckers is playing great. Look what Sabrina and Stewie has been doing.
Lieberman strengthened her defense even further by comparing Clark to sports giants like Michael Jordan. When Jordan entered the NBA, he faced relentless physical punishment from rivals like the Bad Boys. But instead of breaking, he built himself up in the weight room, reshaping his body to endure the constant hits. Lieberman sees that same fire burning in Clark, suggesting she too is developing her physical strength, preparing to face any targeting or rough play directed at her, closely mirroring Jordan's climb to dominance through sheer grit and dedication.
Of all the attention for women's basketball in the world.
Right.
And you know what? When you get to this stage, you're like, okay, what can I do? Arike is a baller. Paige Beckers is playing great. Look what Sabrina and Stewie has been doing, and Skylar and NECA. I mean, they're on every team. There's amazing levels of talent. And stop nitpicking with each other. Just go out and ball, and let the final
play the game.
Yeah, all the targeting, all that stuff it was unnecessary, and the fans saw it play out right in front of them. That's why I appreciate Nancy for being.
The comparison even stretched to Tiger Woods, another once-in-a-lifetime talent who battled jealousy and skepticism when he arrived on the PGA Tour. Woods didn't just participate, he elevated the entire sport, boosting ratings, increasing prize purses, and pulling in crowds like never before. Lieberman argues that Clark embodies that same transformative power, capable of expanding the WNBA's visibility and financial potential in ways previously unimaginable. Her influence extends far beyond the court, reshaping the entire ecosystem of women's basketball by attracting new audiences and investment.
To the table. The average attendance in the 33 games Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have played in this season is 15,746, which leads the WNBA. The average attendance of WNBA games not involving Caitlin Clark is on average 8,490, an 85% drop from games that Caitlin Clark is not participating in. Obviously, the New York Liberty average over 11,000, the Los Angeles Sparks average over 10,000, but the Indiana Fever at 15,746. Yet I'm on the air the other day, and
Lieberman's message to the league was blunt: don't resent her. If Clark is the cash cow right now, then embrace it. She called out petty behavior and demanded recognition of Clark as the league's best guard, a truth supported by both her stats and her impact. This push for unity over jealousy highlighted the deeper internal issues within the sport. Lieberman passionately urged players to uplift one another rather than merely tolerate success, emphasizing the shared benefits that come when the entire league grows together.
Thing that you could say, what would you want to say in terms of the narrative that has been put out there as it pertains to her coverage and her feeling?
Cheryl Swoops was probably the biggest hater. The biggest hater. That's what Cheryl Swoops was. She hated so much, she ain't even on Gil's Arena. She got kicked off the Dallas Wings telecast, all types of stuff, because she was doing too much.
It's about Caitlin Clark.
I've known Cheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first ESPYs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her.
Lieberman directly identified jealousy as the driving force behind the intense targeting and scrutiny Clark encountered. She remarked that women are cute, special little beings, yet often susceptible to deep jealousy, openly tying this emotion to the narrative surrounding Clark. This candid, and admittedly controversial, perspective exposed the hidden tensions that arise when a new, wildly popular figure steps in, disrupting established hierarchies and shifting the balance of attention within the league.